Hey, welcome back everybody. In today's video we're going to discuss the bumper fillers, and this is a subject that affects almost every Regal ever made. Around I think 85, 86, the plastic bumper fillers. So that's the part, that's these part that goes between the body and the bumper. Okay, the plastic seemed to degrade over time, and it was by 10 years later that they were starting to disintegrate. Even if you had a garage queen, the black paint would start to cloud up and they would become very brittle. So there are a few different solutions, okay? And I have an example of each. So on your left, this is the urethane that is very similar to what was in the production days. It's supposed to be an improved formulation, so it doesn't have that breakdown. Then the middle one is ABS, and then this one on the right is fiberglass. Okay, and so for your consideration, we'll look at the one that I think you should not consider. So these are the ABS. These really don't fit well. So there was some pieces that had to be cut out so it would fit. The other thing is, look how thin this is. It's cracking already. Honestly, these are a waste of money. These are real garbage. They do have their place though. If you have a race car, you know, something that's caged and maybe even a regular Regal, and it stays outside all the time, you might want to go for these. They do, as far as crash survival, these are probably in the light to light range before you're gonna have some, you know, this will probably be the first thing to go. Okay, so now let's look at the next one is fiberglass. Now these were one of the first solutions. They're pretty rigid. They have they're nice and firm. There's advantages and disadvantages to this. Now, these can be, and I'm not going to name vendors because I'm not being sponsored or anything. There are different kinds of fiberglass out there. I know it depends on the quality of the mold and how careful they are when they make them. I know years back there was a place off of eBay that excuse me, they had a really good set of front ones, but their quality was inconsistent. Now, as far as crash survival, they're not going to be able to sustain much before cracking. But the good news is that they're easily repaired. Okay, you don't even have to be an auto body shop professional to be able to repair the fiberglass. I could even show you, because this car has been wrecked, what happens this car had. So let's go in for a close-up. So this is kind of what you could expect, you know, to see. I mean, this was a severe accident, but you know, they're pretty rigid and don't lend themselves well to little accidents. Okay, and this last one is the urethane. Like I said, this is the stock equivalent. These are reproductions. They used to not come with the metal, so you'd have to save the old ones. So you should have the metal reinforcement in there. And the difference between these and the, let's say, the fiberglass is, look at the sharpness of the body lines. You know, these are a little sharper. Now the Achilles heel of these urethane ones is that it requires a certain amount of prep for the before painting. There's like several steps. Okay, there's a mold release, so they spray the mold, the plastic mold. I'm not talking about the mold mildew stuff. I'm talking about the mold to make the plastic. They spray this stuff on there so that the plastic part will release. That needs to be completely removed. Okay, and then it needs to be cleaned well, needs to be scuffed using a mild abrasive, and then before painting it needs adhesion promoter, and it would be a good idea to put in flex agent in the paint. Now I have an example of one that didn't happen. The person just, you know, carelessly painted it, and literally when I got these, I just twisted like this, and a lot of the paint just flaked off. So I'm gonna refinish these. These have 0 miles on them basically, and you know, I am gonna refinish them. So that being said, I hope this helps you. I wouldn't spend the money. If you're an originality person, I wouldn't spend the money on getting like NOS ones from the factory. I don't think they improved that plastic, and if they've been sitting and then they get exposed to the elements, you know, these ones are priced pretty much the same. The ABS is very tempting because they're cheap, but you get what you pay for. The other thing is, as far as fiberglass, a lot of them, you don't have to worry about crash protection so much, because a lot of these cars just, you know, go out for shows and on the weekend, and you know, we're not parallel parking in the city where people are bumping into your bumper and you know, testing the absorption properties. So the other nice thing, I do know the fiberglass has a one piece, so you can get rid of that seam in the middle. Those are available out there too. So that's your options. There is a fourth option. I don't have an example of it. I don't know if it's super rare, but there was a person out there making sheet metal ones, at least for the front. And I thought that was pretty cool. But, well, I hope this video helped you, and you can add to the conversation by commenting. Please like, subscribe, and share.